Hi. Oh, there we go. So, as I mentioned, this is not the apocalypse, right? It's going to get better. The sun will shine. We'll find toilet paper again. Right, Sherman? You remember Sherman, right? Yeah, there it is. And like I said, you've got to stay in shape. Even now, but especially when this is done, you have to be able to be in shape to talk to people. People are afraid, and I've read some good stuff that shows that people are actually starting to consider what's going on, and maybe they're even interested in God. So you've got to be in shape because we have some heavy lifting in front of us. We have some big stuff that we need to share. You know, I do these push-ups down here in my man cave where I hardly have any room, but I can do them down here. I can do them anywhere where there's limited space. I don't have to go to 24-hour fitness or even any like that to do it. I do them all through a week, but usually I have like 3 days where I'll do 100, and I'm not nuts, so I spread them out during the day. Don't become a couch potato or a video zombie. And I also mean getting into the Bible, right? The one-year Bible's a great place to start. So why just sit there? Get strong while you're going through all of this. Now, apocalypse means revealing, like in Luke 17:30. So it will be on the day when the Son of Man is revealed. That means apocalypse. Apocalypse is revealing, right? He's revealed. So why is everyone so afraid? People are afraid of dying. Did you know that? In Hebrews 2, verses 14 and 15, it says, He himself likewise took on the same nature, that through death he might destroy him who has the power of death, that is the devil, and deliver all those who through fear of death were subject to lifelong bondage. It's not the virus, just allergies. Now you can look at these verses on your own, but basically it says that Jesus made it so that we don't have to be afraid of death or God when we die. He became a man so that he could die, and then as he died and rose, he showed that we could be forgiven and not die and not be judged by God. See, the devil could scare us and keep us from God because of our sin, like being in jail. Oh, you don't want to talk to God. You're just dirty. You're a sinner. He'll burn you. Stay away from him. But we're set free in Jesus now. Do you understand this? There can be, if we know him, really no great fear of death if we know our sin is forgiven and God is standing there like a father in the prodigal son, not as an almighty judge. And Jesus is the only one who can do this for us. It's true. Who wants to stand before God if you're in the wrong and he's the judge? But see, that's the brilliance of what Jesus did for us. Now, something else to think about in Luke 11:22, Jesus talks about his power to defeat Satan, and he says, but when one stronger than he assails him and overcomes him, he, Jesus, the good guy, takes away his armor in which he trusted and divides his spoil. Now let's say the armor is our sin and judgment and fear of death and fear of standing before God. Once Jesus took away that argument from Satan that God wouldn't accept us, Satan was defenseless. How could he scare us? And Jesus could walk in and lead out all the captives, that's us, into light. We don't have to be afraid of death, and we don't have to be afraid of standing before God. So listen, this is not the apocalypse. People are afraid, But we have the answer, and God wants us to experience all of this confusion and emotion so that now that some are really ready to hear, some people really do want to hear, we can give them some really good news. When we meet God, we meet our Father, and meet him only as our Father because of what Jesus has done for us. So I've got 2 songs I want you to listen to. The links are below on this webpage. And actually, they both have to do with Easter and Jesus defeating death and giving us life. Just think, in this time of COVID-19, we can still celebrate Easter. Isn't that cool? And how appropriate. Now, this first song, you'll understand right away. This is Keith Green's The Victor, and it says it all. It's kind of a funny, in-your-face song, talking about how Jesus defeated not only Satan, but death. Just allergies. The second song is What the Lord Has Done in Me. It's early Hillsong. Now, you'll see a guy with an acoustic guitar standing on the left side. That's Reuben Morgan, the guy who wrote the song. He also wrote Mighty to Save and a bunch of other great songs. But this is way back then when he was a young man. And the thing is, what the Lord has done in us is great news. It's not that we have to be special or super to help other people. We just need to know the Lord and let him work in us. The image of baptism in the song is not forgiveness, but passing from the shore of death to the shore of life. Jesus told the guy who was cured of all those demons, you remember that story, to go home to his friends and tell them how God had blessed him and had mercy on him. And it says he went out and told everyone what the Lord had done for him. That's the most powerful thing you can share if it's real. With all this stuff going on, which is not the apocalypse, let God work in your heart and get you in shape. Be ready. The simplest proof of his power is just sharing what the Lord has done in you and how he's helping you. Sure, it's scary, but you can tell them why. We don't have to be afraid. Hey, take care and be good and see you around. Maranatha.